Hello and welcome back to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome to another ownership update and welcome to beautiful, sunny, almost clouds are rolling in, Marco Island, Florida. Today we have a 2021 Tesla Model Y. It's not just any Model Y, it's my mom's. We're going to talk about her Teslas in the past, why she's driving a Model Y, how it's going so far. In just a few months, she's already driven it over 12,000 miles with multiple trips up and down the East Coast from Connecticut to Florida. So let's do a little ownership update with my mom. She and I have only got to do one video in the past together, and that was drifting around her Model 3 around the track in North Carolina, which was fantastically fun. Don't expect anything like that. We're just gonna cruise around the city, talk about her ownership updates, because you guys seem to like these videos that we've been shooting. Let's get into it. This here is my mom's Model Y. It's a 2021 long-range dual motor. Now, this is not completely stock. She has modified it. I don't know what I think. She has taken the aero caps off and then put on the wrong color wheel cap kit. These are black instead of silver. I don't know. You tell me, what do you think? Did she make the right or wrong decision? I actually think the aero caps look pretty good on the Model Y, but then we have the best modification, which is the out of spec motoring, our sister channel to this one's logo. That is a channel focused just on pretty much road trips and adventures, primarily in electric vehicles, but also with our Winnebago Revel Sprinter van. And now, of course, you've seen the Model Y. You guys are familiar with this car. The spec, again, long-range dual motor, all-wheel drive, came out just in the low $50,000 range. White seats, glass roof, of course. Glass roof is standard. The Model Y also comes with this black trim. She has a pretty interesting build because if you take a look here, you can see she has the dual pane glass, which is very nice for noise insulation. Although I will say, I actually think the car's still pretty noisy on the road. And forgive the mess in here, she has the new scroll wheels, but not a heated steering wheel, which we'll talk about. I know she's pretty bummed there. Either way, looks pretty good, great spec. Let's jump in the car and talk to my mom about what she thinks. This is my mom.
Hi, are we filming?
We're filming.
Yikes, thought I was driving.
You're driving and we're gonna talk. Before we get into your Model Y, your last car was a Model 3.
Correct.
And before that, Dad's had a whole bunch of Teslas.
Correct.
And different EVs, not just Tesla.
We had the S, we had an X.
You had another S.
Another, I guess, another S. Did we have another
three
three?
threes.
Or you had a 3, I had a 3.
Dad had a 3. I've had 2 3s. Dad's had 2 3s.
Okay.
Anyway, tons of Teslas in our family. Our audience, for some reason, thinks we're like Tesla haters.
Well,
Can you imagine that?
What have you made them think that about? I love
I think
Tesla.
because I like other EVs too. You know, I love the Taycan.
Yes.
I love the ID4. I enjoyed the Mach-E, parts of it.
Well, I think that's okay to love a lot of different cars or like a lot of different cars. They all have a different purpose.
I've always loved combustion cars too. You know, I'm not just an EV guy.
I sort of remember back in high school you had a very loud car that you modified. You modified it to be the loudest car in town.
That's right.
I remember those
I like
days.
Noise.
And then all of a sudden you didn't like noise. And
well, I don't think it has to. I don't think I dislike noise just because I like electric. I don't think it has to be a binary decision.
There was one point where everybody knew you were coming down the street, and then there was a time nobody knows. You sort of sneak up on us.
Well, that's the best part about an EV. You can drive like a total ass because you're so much power and no one knows.
No one knows.
It's sort of a license to just get across a city very quickly.
Or for me, just commuting back and forth to work.
Right.
I can fly.
Okay, we'll talk about how you use your car in a bit, but I think it's important for our audience to realize we're not just Tesla fans, nor are we Tesla haters. We can just view them as another automaker to cover and like, and I think Tesla does a lot of things amazing that no other car company can do, and a lot of things.
By the way, I am a Tesla fan.
Right, that's good.
I am a
Are you
total
an
Tesla
Elon Musk lover, though? Do you have candles with a shrine that say, I love Elon?
No, I'm not that obsessive. I think Daddy might be upset if I had an Elon Musk candle in the house. But no, I think he is a creative genius. He's thinks of everything that's outside the box that other people don't think
So you
of.
have a positive impression of Elon then.
I absolutely do.
That's interesting. That's
I really
great.
do.
No, that's awesome.
I even watched
as
him.
do I. I think he's cool.
I even watched him on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, what do you think of his performance?
You know what? I give him a lot of credit.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was out of his comfort zone, for sure. And I appreciate that he went on and did his thing.
Well, why don't we talk about your career before we get into your car ownership?
Okay.
So, you are a musician.
Yes, I am.
And you play the cello. Primarily, you play a lot of instruments, but the cello is your
Yes, I would like to
forte.
say I'm a cellist.
You're a cellist and a conductor.
Yes, that's true.
And you just slowed down for a crosswalk that no one was at.
Well, that's because you're talking to me and I'm trying to multitask. The last thing I want to do is run over someone who just had a great day at the beach down here.
But didn't you know your car drives itself and it wouldn't let you hit anyone?
I didn't know that.
That's sarcasm.
I was going to say that I'm driving, so that's not true.
Right.
So don't confuse me. Don't give me misinformation, Kyle Connor.
Okay, so you're a cellist. You're a music teacher. You've taught music forever.
Correct.
As long as I've known you, literally.
Literally, yes, forever.
Yeah. Okay.
And longer than that.
Longer than even before I was around.
Right.
So why did you choose to have a son that was obsessed with cars?
Well, life chooses things for you. I didn't choose that, but I am so grateful that I have you, and you are, as I always say, you are my number one son.
That's right. Your only son.
You're
number one.
My favorite son.
So, you have been driving very interesting cars your entire life. Well, since Dad got involved.
Since the day we got married, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so you've had some of the best cars, Mercedes S-Class, Range Rovers, everything in the book.
Everything pretty and fancy and shiny.
Yeah, 911, Cayennes,
yes.
Your big Porsche family, of course.
Yes.
So why...
Oh, and I even had my Macan recently, right before I got into Tesla. That
before
was my
your Model
last
3?
Regular car.
Right, that was a nice spec Macan.
Yes,
It had everything.
I
Torque
love that
vectoring,
car.
all the Porsche acronyms.
Yep.
Yep. And so why did you get a Model 3 in the first place?
Around here. Okay. Well, why did I get a Model 3?
Yeah, not this car.
Because you and Daddy told me I needed a Model 3. That's why I got a Model 3. And in typical fashion of Connor style, people tell me what to drive, and I go, okay.
And you owned that car for a year, just about, and you actually made money on it?
I think that's true. I can't remember. I don't do the deals. I don't.
But anyway, we did a whole video when you took delivery of this car on our Out of Spec Motoring channel.
Yes, we did.
And you owned a Model 3 for free.
Yes, that is true. Now it's all coming back to me.
Also, part of that was Tesla gave you a Powerwall credit because some of our viewers used your code and you got a referral.
And I appreciated that.
And then they also sent us the Powerwall.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
And no, Tesla, you can't have it back.
This is why I'm such a fan of Elon.
They just give you free stuff because they're not coordinated over there.
It's just whatever it is. It worked to my advantage, and I loved it.
They're so disorganized, they gave you a Powerwall off the price of your car and then said, oh yeah, we'll just, the Powerwall just showed up. We were like, oh, just have it delivered here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, yeah, now that's just sitting in my garage, which, Tesla, sorry, but we're going to do something cool with it. You'll get the video out of it at least.
Mm-hmm.
So now you went from a Model 3 to Model Y, and how has that been? Because in my perception, they're the same car.
Not even close.
Not even close?
Not even close. Yes, there are things that are very familiar, so it was not a huge transition for me. I didn't have to learn new buttons. I understand the screen.
Yeah, everything works
and that was, of course, very comforting. It was always like also when I had a Mercedes and then I got another Mercedes, I knew where all the gadgets were, or in the BMW. So that was a very simple, transition. And the reason I wanted the Model Y was, well, two things. It had the longer range.
Because you only had a standard range Model 3.
Right. And so this has much longer range, which, because of the pandemic now, we're finding ourselves driving from Connecticut to Florida and Florida to Connecticut because, of course, for a year and a half we couldn't use airplanes. There was no such thing. And that really made our road trip incredibly easy, just having the longer range. And the other reason I really wanted the Y was because I sit a little bit higher and that's easier for me. Sometimes I feel like I plop down into a car, and I don't like that feeling.
It's the worst part about the Model 3, I think.
Right, I feel like I just plop down, and then I just sort of like getting in at the same level almost. So I'm a fan of these little SUVs. I like it very much. And then there was another reason. Oh, it's just a little bit bigger, so more things fit in the car. It's just a little bit bigger.
But have you had to use the cargo space?
Well, sure, because when everything shut down in March of 2020, Daddy and I were home for about a week, and I said, okay, this isn't good. Let's go down to the condo in Florida. We, in a few hours, threw everything in the car. Didn't even think about what we were taking, and we just took everything, and it all fit.
Nice. And did you use your front trunk?
We used every little inch of this car.
Huh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and we threw Bailey in the car, and off we went. So it's great.
Well, that's good. So that's positive. That basically you get everything you liked from your Model 3.
Yes.
More range, all-wheel drive in this case. Not that you need it, but you have it.
Correct.
And great road tripper. You get faster charging, not only longer range. That's the thing people don't realize about Teslas is they always just look at the range number on paper, and you're never going to get the range number on paper unless you drive 2 miles an hour, which you don't.
Right.
But you have more than enough range to go anywhere you need to go. You don't think about it.
Never think about it.
And the bigger battery gets you faster charging.
Very fast. In fact, I feel like I maybe that's because I had the 3. I appreciate the upgrades in the Y.
Right. You have to think about this as, personally, I think most people don't need the bigger battery, but the faster charging is necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, and welcomed, right? Sometimes I remember the first road trip we took on with the Tesla was the X, and it had a short range.
Hold on. Let's just tell our audience about that Model X. This was Dad's first Tesla. And he's like, I don't need the range. Right. So he bought a 60D, which is a 75 kilowatt hour pack, software limited to 60 kilowatt hours. It was actually like 63. It was the best value because it was like $9,000 less, and it was only like a 30-mile EPA difference, if I remember correctly. Really cool Defender up there, by the way. And so now's a good time to slow down for the crosswalk.
Well, that's because the guy in front of me slows down too.
So that 60D, you went on a road trip in that car, and I think you went on a road trip when it had 22-inch wheels.
Okay, that I don't know, but I know we went down to Virginia.
It was the worst road trip Tesla you could get.
It was Katie's freshman year of college. We went to visit her, and it took forever to get there. And I said, I hate electric cars. I'm never going to have another electric car. This is the worst road trip.
But then he got the Model 3 after that, or at least at some point it came around, and that was a long-range rear-wheel drive, and you were like, oh, now you can just go forever.
It was nice.
Right.
But I think it's really nice to sort of start with nothing and then see the improvements as the years go on. Like every car we've gotten, I think, has been better and better.
Except when he got the Model S. I think he had the older, he got a...
Well, he bought it
just a holdover for his Model 3 performance.
That's right.
Something like that. Anyway, so the Model Y is working out great for you. It's easy to drive. You like your white seats?
Oh, I love the white seats.
Love the white seats. I agree. I have them in my car
I thought they were going to be very hard to keep clean, and they are not.
Yeah, and we put the muddy dogs in there, and we destroy our car, and it just wipes back to new. But you take care of your car. You don't even want me putting the dogs in here.
Well, because I know that those dogs are enormous. So no, those dogs are not coming in my car. Bailey comes in my car.
Right, your little 10-pound squirrel.
That's right, my little squirrel. She's
can we talk about your autopilot and the driver assistance stuff? That do you ever use this?
Intermittently.
And what does that mean?
Not nearly as much as you would want me to, so I know that you would be disappointed.
No, I think you just drive the car however you feel most comfortable.
Like, look, I can do it now.
No, you can't.
No. Why can't I?
Because you just hit it 2 more times low. Yeah, quick.
1, 2.
There you go.
Oh, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay, see? Haha.
Okay, but put your hands back on the wheel.
Oh, yeah,
it's not a drive. See, this is the thing Tesla owners get wrong.
I know that my hand has to stay on the wheel.
And you have to pay attention.
I do. I just was sort of proud to show you, like,
okay,
no hands.
good job.
That's okay, now I'm going to come off of autopilot.
Okay. So, a lot of Tesla owners get way too... I don't know, enthused with autopilot and this full self-driving nonsense that'll never happen.
Well, I think, there's just a lot of misinformation, or they've only read what they've wanted to read about it, and so they think they can just go
Or their car can drive around sometimes, and they think, oh, it's just autonomous, but it's not. Anyway, it's a great driver assistance system when you use it properly.
Agreed.
And all of this, like trying to get the car to be self-driving on city streets, personally, I don't have much interest in.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
some people buy the car for that.
Yeah, and you have a lot of very strong opinions.
Really?
About vehicles, as you like to say.
Right.
And I think, it's good. You should have opinions. But for me, and sometimes you hurt my feelings because, for example, when you took the car out the other night and you said, "Oh, Mom, there's too much play."
Look at that. Look how little steering input you're getting and how much movement we have.
But I don't drive like that, so I never.
But that's the thing. It's only okay, so I was following a Model Y the other day from Ohio as a performance, and I was like in the Sprinter, we're on our way down here, and they start like moving over because an on-ramp was coming, and I knew exactly what autopilot was doing. It was somehow, the people claim these cars will be full self-driving, but it still can't figure out what lane to choose when an on-ramp merges on the highway. My whole, it always freaks out. So it started doing that thing. I was watching it happening, and then I knew exactly the moment when the person took over, because they went hard left, hard right, and then they freaked out and took an exit.
Got it.
And I was like, this is the problem.
Right.
Part of it is, having someone who understands how to use the system. That doesn't happen because I can just click autopilot off or something.
Right. Well, you're very, very comfortable doing
Sure, I autopilot everywhere. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just think it's kind of dangerous the way it's set up. My own opinion. I'm sure we'll hear about it in the comments. I think the steering ratio is too quick on this car.
Well, that's what you told me. I drive it, I think, like a normal person, so I don't notice that. I feel like...
That's good.
I didn't even know there was anything wrong until you started.
Oh, it's not wrong. It's just way too aggressive, I think.
Street.
Also, I find that the car rides too rough for being an SUV.
Okay, so I think it's great.
Good.
I'm very comfortable in it. I really love it. And I've had some really nice cars, but I don't feel like this is a step down because I just think, it's really beautiful. I absolutely love the way it looks.
Well, the interior's great.
And I love the whole interior, and I feel very comfortable in it.
So, are there downsides to you about this car?
Okay, so I think I only have one that's coming to the top of my mind, and it's a safety issue.
Oh.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. When I put on my directional to change lanes,
okay,
I would like to see a little arrow or a blinker in the side view mirrors to tell me someone's in my blind spot. And I think that that's really a problem because you have to then get used to looking down at the screen. Like now I see someone, right? So I know, okay, someone's there. But it took a while for me to really feel comfortable looking down at the screen when I've always just been used to seeing some sort of color code or blinking.
Yeah, for blind spot monitoring.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that I guess that's a minor thing. The thing I love, like for example, like now we're coming up to a red light.
Yep.
And it's going to show up on my screen. And so I love that because when I drive to work in the morning and I get off 95, right off the exit is a light. And it's directly facing the sun. So my thing comes down and I'm trying to look like this at the light, and then I didn't even realize I could do this. Then one day Dad said to me, just look at your screen, you'll see when it turns green.
It's impressive.
That was impressive.
Yeah, and people, like I just was, pretty negative on the whole full self-driving thing. The car can see a lot, no question.
I agree.
It can see, it can visualize these things in real time. Trash cans, it's done for a while. And if you've noticed, sometimes it turns Kia Souls into trash cans.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I didn't know. And then you see the construction orange cones.
Sure.
They show up, a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of fun too.
But honestly, just to have, now that I know I can look at the traffic lights, especially in that one particular one that I hit every morning.
And you'd say it's pretty accurate.
It's completely accurate.
That's awesome. It's
I
great.
Look at that,
Impressive
it turns
technology.
green, I go, it's all green. It's perfect.
Very impressive technology,
That really-
especially in the sun. Because a lot of people are sort of down on the use of all these cameras and stuff. They think you need LiDAR, but I think the car can see quite a bit.
Well, I don't really know what LiDAR does, honestly, but what I see here
Did you
on
know
my
you can do
screen,
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't, but I knew that.
Yeah, well, I'm just flipping the screen around so she can see the cars around. So the positives are almost everything.
Absolutely.
And the negatives are no blind spot monitoring, which seems like a very minor problem compared to what could be wrong with a car. Heated steering wheel.
Oh, yeah, you had to bring that up. That's a problem.
But the new ones have it. You missed it by like 2 months.
I was going to say, my car's new. Yeah, it's a problem. But you know what? I just preheat it, and it's not really as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be.
I think a lot of people don't understand how nice it is to have the Tesla app. How instant it responds, how you have dog mode, you have music streaming right in here. The little things Tesla does that are like, when you get into other cars, you're like, why can't it be this well integrated?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love that about it because, you know, I've been driving Teslas longer than you have been, and I test a lot of cars, of course.
Really?
Yeah. And I just think it's like no one is nearly as close as Tesla as it is to have all this integration.
Well, I can't compare it to anybody else. You know, I drive what I drive when it shows up in the driveway, and I am just very, very impressed with everything it sees and this big giant screen, and it's very, very helpful. I did think of one other negative.
Oh.
It's hard to see out the back window. It's sort of a very small view. Not that I look out that often, because when I back out, of course, I'm using the big screen.
Which is a great camera.
But, you know, just to be honest, and as I think of it, that is a little tiny view.
So little tiny view out the back. Do you find that the ride noise is loud?
No.
Okay. And no, that's great.
I know you do, but you see, I don't.
I just think like an ID4 rides and drives better than this.
Okay, well, I haven't driven that.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But next week. Or whenever you go back home, you will.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Dad's thinking about getting one.
Great.
So if you had unlimited budget, all the money in the world, what car would you buy?
Oh, I have to think about that. Does it have to be electric?
Oh.
I don't really know. I really like this car. I think I would just keep this car.
Yeah, well, that's got to be the biggest testament, is you would rebuy this car if you had to choose.
I would rebuy this car and probably just get another Porsche.
Right. Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Right.
Just for fun.
Can't argue with that.
Because you know, you take the top down on those convertibles and you can't help but feel really young and free.
And why did you take your aero caps off your wheels?
I thought they were ugly.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I don't have that much of an opinion about that stuff, but I did look at those and I didn't like them. I thought they looked like plastic, and I didn't like them. And I heard you say in your opening that you said I put the wrong color.
Yeah, I think they should be silver.
Well, I disagree. I think they look great.
Look, I'm so happy you have your own opinions, and you're not just agreeing with what I say.
I'm almost afraid to disagree with you, because
no, it's what I prefer. Sometimes I prompt things just to get people to disagree with me. Yeah, do you ever listen to our Inside EVs weekly podcast?
Of course I do.
Plug
I love
here?
it.
You know how Tom and I just go at it all the time?
I have noticed that.
We actually don't do that in real life.
Is that true?
Yeah, we agree on most things, but we try to keep it engaging for our audience.
I did think you two were friends, and I thought there's a little adversarial.
No, it's all fabricated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
To keep it interesting to watch.
So, Tom, if you're watching this, hi, Tom.
Right. Yeah, so Tom Malogny, for those wondering, check out our Inside EVs weekly podcast every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
It's very good.
9:30 a.m. Eastern, actually. Sometimes I miss it.
I don't even know how you could keep up. You're all over the place.
Right.
And the only way I keep up with you is I follow you on Twitter and your TikToks. And I love your TikToks.
Out of Spec Studios TikToks.
They're very fun.
Where are we going right now?
I'm just driving. We're now over on the Isle of Capri.
That sounds way fancier than where we are.
Oh, no, it's really low-key. But we just left Marco Island. We went over the bridge. So this is just sort of a nice drive to go down, and then we can flip around and go back home.
Cool. So final thoughts on your Model Y. What would you like to share with our audience? You know, being a older generation than these young, these young techie people, Okay, I'm
Can I
not.
smack you?
No. So just being, I would say, a mom of people who are out of college, and Katie and I are doing our own thing now.
Certainly are.
You know, I think a lot of people in your generation age category can afford a car like this now.
That's right.
What would you suggest to them?
Well, I'd say if they're interested in driving an EV, which I fully support, it's amazing. And of course, you know, I've said this before, the Tesla Superchargers network is, I think it's phenomenal.
Because you've experienced Electrify America and the other chargers with Dad.
I have.
And yeah, what's your impression of the, you know, sort of public charging CCS world versus supercharger network?
Well, I guess I don't want to say anything really negative.
No, you can. That's fine. This is your platform.
I'm just going to stick to the positive. I think at this point, there's nothing better than the Tesla supercharging network. You always know exactly where they are. You know how to use them. There's no sort of
And how
confusion.
do you use it?
What do you mean? How do you use
how
it?
does like someone? How do you? Not you, as in you, but as
You
in
pull
our
up on the
audience.
screen, you hit the little lightning bolt, it shows you where to go, and you can navigate right to the supercharger. You know, 99% of the time you back up into it, you get out, you plug it in, and you take a little walk for 30 minutes or so. It's really nice.
Really nice, and you can of course monitor it from your phone. It's so well thought out.
And they let you know, okay, 5 minutes remaining, and you know,
Yeah.
and it's good. And you know, I think most people are really conscientious about they have filled up, they have all their battery, and they leave. Nobody, or nobody should, but most people know not to sort of hang around and go off somewhere while their car is charging, so
Sure.
it doesn't block someone off. I know you've had a few situations where you have had to, I'm going to turn around here,
Yeah.
where you have had to wait because someone has gone away and they were fully charged.
Just yesterday for almost an hour.
And that's not right.
Well, I just think we're going to run into more of these issues as time goes on.
Well, I agree. And you were in Naples yesterday, and of course it was a Sunday afternoon, and I'm sure everybody was sadly leaving.
Yeah, peak time. It's hard.
Naples,
You know, it's hard to
had
spend
go
the
home.
money to build out your network for peak demand or average demand.
That's right.
And we're just going to see these, you know, growth situations happen as it happens.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your Model Y.
I am.
I don't think you have any plans to get rid of it.
0.0.
Zero plans to get rid of it. You've done 13,000 miles or so with this now.
Yeah, and I only got it in, did I get it in December? November? December?
Was it before the new year?
Yes.
Okay, but it's a 2021 technically.
Yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure I got it right.
This
before
was the
new
first
year.
year Tesla started building the next model year before the next model year started. The next year started.
If you say so.
Yeah. Because it used to be your year of the car would go based off the production date of the vehicle. But this production date was, 12/20. It was
Okay.
built in December.
Well, at any
You
rate.
got it on the fourth quarter, and I remember this because you got a year of free supercharging.
Oh, yes, it's right. And so here's the other part, because now, you know, I've been driving back and forth from Florida up to Connecticut and vice versa, that I've paid 0.0 for
Yeah, and road trips are free.
charging. And of course, a lot cheaper than gas is these days.
I know that one.
I know you do.
Yeah. Well, cool. I appreciate you taking the time to share your views with our audience.
Oh, yes, because I'm so busy down here on Marco Island. It was a real hardship.
And I'm glad you're really enjoying your Model Y.
Thank you.
I did try to prompt some negative comments to see if you would say anything negative.
No.
To see your true opinion.
I gave you my true opinion.
Yeah.
I really, overall, give this car 9.5 out of 10.
And the 0.5 would be heated steering wheel and the side markers.
And the little window.
Oh, by the way, how's phone as a key for you?
I like it just because my phone is always in my handbag, so it doesn't bother me.
And it doesn't get confused where you get up to the car and it doesn't unlock sometimes?
I think once or twice maybe there was like a little hesitancy, but nothing. But I'm so over the top prepared, so I have my phone app, then I have the little card, and I also have the little fob.
Yeah, you purchased
It's all
the
with me.
accessory
I
fob.
have it all just in case.
Right, there you go.
So.
Well, you heard it here from my mom. enjoying her Model Y. If you see her on the road, say hi. Some viewers have already come up to you from your videos you've done with Out of Spec Motoring.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. They go, "You're Kyle's mom." I go, "Yes, I am. I'm Kyle's mom." Very proud of Kyle.
Well, appreciate your support, and we'll do more videos with you. I hope. If our audience would like them, we'll do more with you.
All right. Well, you just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job.
We'll see. All right. Thank you. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.